kitchen making some iron-rich recipes perfect for a day like the blood drive. We have John Slattery, chef from chefjohnslattery.com. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me today.
There are so many foods that I didn't even realize are honestly considered superfoods because they have so many nutrient-dense properties, especially iron.
Right. And so having a blood drive and wanting to replenish on a day where you've given out some of your blood and you need to build more. There's two kinds of iron. There's heme iron, which comes from meat products, and non-heme iron, which comes from the vegetable products.
Oh, wow.
We're going to mostly focus on the vegetable products in this first part, making a really nice salad.
Great.
With a dressing. And all of the ingredients, this salad, when finished, will provide about 75 to 80% of a daily, just in one serving of the salad.
So this is a super nutrient-dense, packed meal, and it looks delicious. Where do we start?
Well, we're going to make the dressing first, probably, so that's easy, because as I've shown, vinaigrettes are pretty simple to put together.
And they're tasty, too.
So we're going to put into the mixer a little bit of dried mustard. And then we're going to use poppy. We're making a citrus poppy dressing, so we're going to put poppy seeds. Poppy seeds are one of the iron-dense foods. And we're going to use some chia seeds. So this will be a little bit grainy, like a poppy seed muffin or something like that. So it might not be for those of you with dentures. But you can, to enjoy the health benefits of these ingredients, you can pulverize them or buy powdered versions of poppy seeds and chia seeds and things like that and add them into your food. So we've got those in the mixer. We're going to put a little bit of the quinoa, which is another superfood, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And to that, we're going to add lemon juice.
Great.
Now, an important thing about iron is, especially the plant iron, is more easily absorbed by the body when there's vitamin C present. So the lemon juice and this orange juice that we're putting into the dressing is going to help you absorb that.
Well, that's a little hack right there.
And then we're going to sweeten our dressing with some molasses. Molasses, this one serving of molasses here provides almost as much iron as a whole steak.
That blows my mind. I would have never guessed that. That's awesome.
All right. And we're going to
So this is truly packed with iron.
Put the lid on our food processor and turn it on. And then just slowly add our oil.
Okay, so this is something that you want to slowly incorporate. Already smells so good.
And simply we've got that lemon poppy chia vinaigrette. And now to our base of our salad, we're going to use kale and baby spinach.
Okay. Now, are there any nutrient properties that are different between traditional spinach and baby spinach?
No, all the research that I did, just lists spinach, and it's about the volume. 3 cups of spinach that they use for a portion is quite a bit. But when you pack it down, it's really not that much. And then if you're eating it as a cooked dish, it really becomes almost nothing.
Yes.
And so we've got.
Yeah, I always wonder that. I feel like I'm always making so much if I put it in a big skillet, and then when you cook it down, you're like, where did all my food go?
Yeah, definitely something to pre-plan if you're making. You need to have enough. So we've got the greens. We're going to pour our dressing.
And kale is another one of those superfoods as well.
Our vinaigrette.
Very nice.
Now we're going to toss the greens.
And this is really healthy. So for anyone that has just been starting their New Year's resolutions, things like that, this is a great dish packed with protein and all of the nutrients that we need.
The citrus in the dressing is going to help you absorb the iron in the greens. But then we're going to top this salad and really power pack it with some more ingredients that
what do we got?
High in iron. So dried fruits like dried apricots are great, or raisins or dried cranberries.
Foods that we would never even realize. Now, quinoa, you mentioned, is a superfood. Tell us about quinoa and some of its benefits.
So the portion of quinoa that we're putting on this salad right now, along with having high fiber and lots of other great amino acids and things in it, has almost 20% of the daily recommended value.
That's great.
Of iron. So we're going to put that on there.
All right, and then I see that we have some protein over here.
So we have sunflower seeds, super high in iron as well, roasted. Or actually, these are pumpkin seeds. Sunflower seeds would also work. And then almonds. So we've got crunch and flavor and sweetness. We've really made this salad something. And then a little bit of colorful vegetables. Not sure what their iron content is, but we want to make it beautiful.
We want to make it colorful because something that is colorful is more appealing to the eyes and more appetizing in our heads. Now, Chef John Slattery, what are you making later on in the show?
So when we come back, we're going to talk about how clams are probably the most iron-rich food that you can get readily in the supermarket, and make a quick, simple clam pasta dish for you.
That sounds delicious. We will have this recipe and so many more of his recipes right on our website on mymassappeal.com. We are back in the kitchen with Chef John Slattery, chefjohnslattery.com. Now, earlier on in the show, we made a delicious iron-packed salad that looks absolutely gorgeous. Now we are going to be making a clam linguine, is that right?
Correct. Well, we're using angel hair, so a clam pasta dish.
Oh, yeah. Linguine is a kind of pasta.
Yeah, it's a bigger one.
Now, let's talk about the kind of clams that you use, because this is different than kind of sometimes what you would see in like a clam chowder or something like that.
Right. Well, it's depending on the type of clam chowder you make, you'll either use chopped clams or baby clams. And when you're making a clam pasta dish, a lot of times you use fresh clams. But for the purpose of iron loading, the canned baby clams have the most amount of iron per food you can regularly get in the grocery store and eat. Next, higher than chicken livers or oysters or beef's liver, right? Right up there at the top. This dish that we're making will give 2 servings. Each person will get 100% just in this dish. So if you had the salad and the other one, again, we're talking like over 200% just in a little meal.
So this will fully replenish you after you come here today and donate.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, where do we start?
So we've got our pan kind of warm. This is a real quick kind of saute dish, so we're just making sure the pan is hot. We're going to put some butter in. It's not burning. There we go.
Everyone loves a little bit of butter.
And then we're going to crush this garlic clove.
All right.
And a couple slices in there.
Oh, the smell of garlic is the best thing ever.
And we'll start cooking our garlic in the butter.
Now, how important is it, cooking tip for anyone that wants to become a better chef this new year. When you are cooking, you want your pan to be hot before you put anything in it?
You want your pan to be hot, but not too hot.
Okay.
So and that way, if you overheat the pan, you can let it cool down. Versus if you put the oil in and start heating the pan up, if it gets too hot, the oil is going to burn, and you have to clean the pan and start over. But today we managed to time that right. So our garlic is just starting to brown. Our butter is just starting to brown. So we're going to add the clams.
And you don't want to add all of the juice, is that right?
Right. We drain the juice out. That'll come back later when we make the sauce part.
Okay.
So we've got the garlic and the clams cooking in there. We're going to add some chopped parsley and a little fresh pepper.
And I would have never known that baby clams had literally 100% of the iron that you would need in a day's intake.
It's pretty impressive. So that's really simple right there. And now to that, we're just going to add a little bit of lemon juice, just a tiny drop, and some white wine.
All right. Save a little for sipping for later.
Now we're going to be adding the pasta in just a second. Now here's the interesting thing. All the food that we eat in the grocery store and things like that, there's so many natural sources for iron, but nothing tops cereals and pastas. Most of the flour products, they're sold in the United States, are fortified with iron.
Really?
So the pasta itself has 50% of your iron for the day. So we've got the pasta and the clam, so we're talking 150% almost.
And then you have the salad as your appetizer or your first course. You are literally set.
Now that our liquid is coming to a boil, we're going to take a little bit of the white wine and some cornstarch to make what they call a slurry. When you thicken a sauce with cornstarch, you have to mix it with the liquid first in order to make sure that it doesn't clump up.
Oh, I
see how it instantly thickened what we had in there. And now we're going to add a little bit more wine.
That's a great tip right there. I would have never known that. I would have been like, why am I getting floured chunks?
And then we're just going to simply stir the pasta into that sauce.
And I mean, this is like a really quick
Fast,
dish.
easy. You could use minced garlic from a jar. Really, ingredients you can have right around. And then we're just going to plate it. Pasta in the bowl. Clams on top.
Oh my goodness. And this is like 5-star meal right here.
Here you go. It can be made in the convenience of your own home in just a few minutes. Put these 2 dishes together.
I just want to feel like a chef.
There we go.
Like that, because that's what makes me
And now we're
happy.
just going to zest a little bit of lemon on top.
Yeah, you mentioned adding citrus to, in the first segment, you mentioned adding citrus to something actually increases the amount.
Yes, the iron is more easily absorbed by your body, especially the plant-based ones, by adding the citrus to the dish.
Well, you heard it right here. Chef John Slattery, thank you so much for coming on. This is really going to help a lot of people. Maybe some people are a little bit nervous for giving blood, but when you have recipes like this that are going to refuel your body, you know that it's a win-win.
So you can eat well and continue to do good work.
Thank you so much for coming on. We'll have these recipes for you guys right on our website. You heard it right here on mymassappeal.com.